My name is Chef Marcus Samuelsson, and I am the co-owner of Red Rooster here in Harlem. I've been an immigrant 6 times in my life, so I have a lot of unique perspective. I've lived in Switzerland, I grew up in Sweden, I was born in Africa. I traveled to Japan and Southeast Asia many times and worked in many places. And I always end up missing New York. You know, I'm always excited when I land and drive into the city and I'm like, oh yeah, I live there in that pit. It doesn't matter if it's like August and 105. You know, for me, it's like what you respond to in terms of creativity. For me, New York has so much to do with culture and music and art and hip hop, you know, that has really taught me so much in terms of grind and storytelling and attitude. You know, being a black kid and growing up in Europe, anything with, diversity, color, funk, attitude, I was always drawn to, and New York had all of that. And I learned really New York 2 ways, one through my parents and their storytelling of it, and the other way through MTV, videos and attitudes and how to dress and what to say and all of those different things. So MTV was really my English teacher and my attitude teacher, and and so much of this was set in New York City. You aspire always to be a true New Yorker. I think it's an aspiration to be a true New Yorker, no matter where you are in the world, right? Like, being a New Yorker means something. Because people know it's the toughest, it's the most talented, it's the hardest. So if you can come through, you really are talented, and you can really add to the conversation, whatever that is, music, art, food, contemporary, whatever it might be. Well, I live in a jewel of New York City. I live in Harlem, in the village of Harlem. That is, for me, one of the most uniquest places in the city. I love its beauty. It's sort of where it sits right north of Central Park, where you have all these different parks tucked in and make it more humane, you know. But then you also have incredible architecture. And there's very few tall buildings in Harlem, so which means that light is coming in, sun is coming in completely different than it does in other aspects of the city. And then you have wide boulevards. So when people are walking down the boulevard on Lenox Avenue, people are not really walking, they're strolling down. And you can run into people like Dapper Dan, and you can roll by someone like Fab Five Freddy or Apollo, or people like, they're just iconic figures that are walking the streets, or like Lana Turner or Thelma Golden. And these people are like, they don't walk like regular people, or Bevy Smith, they're just stroll and glide.